citing. Earlier, before you came in, the rule was well cited that election shall be by secret ballot. I heard you say that they will raise up hands to vote. Another is the honorable members here, we don't know them. We don't know whether they are youth.
It is upon that background, therefore, that I pursue your permission to allow me, to allow us, to allow me put forward and nominate Ocheng Timothy for Speaker of the 5th cohort of the National Youth Parliament. Thank you.
Is Honorable Ocheng Peter in the House? Do you accept the nomination?
Procedure. Thank you very much.
Is the nomination seconded?
Procedure.
The nomination has not been seconded. I've not seen anyone seconding the nomination. You are seconding the nomination? Okay. So we have one nomination so far.
Procedure.
The clerk, take note. Procedure.
Procedure.
Your Honor, the Right Honorable Chief Justice.
Kindly turn on your microphone.
It's on.
Okay, okay. Now
Right Honorable Chief Justice, I am John Solomon Nabuyanda, representing the youth of Namutumba District, and I hereby second the nomination of Honorable Timothy Ocheng for the position of Speaker of the 5th Parliament. Thank you.
Procedure.
thank you. Yes.
Right Honorable the Chief Justice, my name is Hafashimana Asimwe, and my constituent is the Uganda National Students Association. Whereas you stated it clearly that we are under Rule 5 for the election of the Speaker, the clerk shall ascertain the numbers of the voters before the voting. So I want to inquire if that has already been done. Two, like the previous speaker said, we want to be sure which members are here by giving us the list, or let us know of who is supposed to vote this. The numbers. Thank you.
I'm very happy that you've really had a very good grasp of the rules of procedure. That means the briefing of the morning was so thorough. Congratulations, honorable members. You should clap for yourselves, really. I'm happy that the quality of the submissions and the procedures and everything are coming out on top of the. So I'm grateful. But like I said earlier on, we are going to do this with a number of modifications, because this is a mock parliament, okay? So let's accept that we have some modifications in the process. Otherwise, if we decide that we are going to go as per the rules, I'm telling you, we will not leave here.
Procedure.
And so we are going to make some modifications for as long as they are not fatal to the process.
Procedure.
That's the last procedure I will entertain for now. Yes?
Thank you very much, the Right Honorable Chief Justice. In as far as the modification of the rules of procedure to fit into current circumstances, there should be procedure for amendment of a procedure, okay? Or suspension of a rule should be by motion and not driven by the emotion or the thought of whoever has the powers to amend. Because if we are to operate like this, then there wouldn't be need for me to raise and nominate someone under a procedure. I would just say I feel like this is the right person and we would proceed that way. But there are rules. So Rule 14, on the suspension of rules. Any member may, with the consent of the Speaker, move that any of the rule be suspended in its application to a particular motion before the House, and if the motion is carried, the rule in question shall be suspended. So it is not within your powers as the Chief Justice to start suspending rules, okay? So let us follow the rules because we are building a generation of parliamentarians who have respect for rules.
Thank you very much. Are you referring to Rule 16? 14? But I also want you to read Rule 16. What does Rule 16 say?
In the case of an emergency, the speaker may call a special meeting at any time and at such place as he or she considers expedient, giving reasonable notice. The rule
Now,
doesn't apply
I
this.
realize you are using soft copies of all rules.
Because hard copies haven't been handed over to us.
Okay, so I'll guide you that a member may, with the consent of the speaker, move that a rule be suspended in application to a particular motion before the House, and if the motion is carried, the rule in question shall be suspended. So the rule you are talking about is now Rule 16. And that rule requires that it is moved with the consent of the speaker. Now, the
Right,
first
Honorable, in
kindly,
all- you're
well,
not the
the
speaker.
chair is listened to in silence, honorable members. When the chair is speaking, even when your speaker takes over, the chair is listened to in silence, and then you can challenge that afterwards. And there's also a procedure for challenging the decision of the chair. So if you want to challenge the decision, you will also use the same procedure for challenging the decision of the chair. But what I'm saying is, if you want to suspend a rule by way of a motion, you get the consent of the speaker. At this point in time, you do not have a speaker. I am not a speaker of parliament. I am the Chief Justice whose job is to do only one thing: elect for you, help you, elect from amongst yourselves a speaker of parliament. So let's not read these rules with rigidity, but also at the same time, in the interest of time, like I said, we are going to apply these rules with modifications. So there are certain rules that we want to apply, but they only apply in a typical parliamentary setting where the speaker is the one chairing the House. So at this stage, we have even decided not to move by way of motions because nobody has stood up to move that motion. If there was a motion on the floor, I would put it to a vote, but there's no motion on the floor. So, we have one person who has been nominated for the position of the speaker. I would want to see...
Procedure.
On any other matter? On any other matter, not this? I have already ruled on this matter. There's a procedure for challenging the ruling of the speaker or the chair. Take your seat, honorable member. Will you please take your seat? Take your seat. Take your seat. I request you to take your seat. Yes, honorable member?
Thank you, Right Honorable Chief Justice. My name is Nalubyai Zahara, the Speaker for Central Youth Parliament, hailing from Chimanya Kabonera Division, constituency rather, from Masaka City. I'm nominating Honorable Welunga Yusuf. He's an able leader. He has served with the youth, so he has experience. I nominate him as the Speaker for this National Parliament, National Youth Parliament.
Is the honorable member in the House?
Procedure.
Do you accept the nomination? We want to be sure that you are interested.
Yes, I accepted the nomination.
Are there any...
Procedure.
Are there seconders?
Procedure.
Speak to.
Thank you, Right Honorable Chief Justice. My name is Kakai Nimrod. I represent the youth from Namisindwa. I second the nomination of Yusuf Werunga as the right and able Speaker of the 5th cohort of the Parliament. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, honorable member.
Thank you, Right Honorable Chief Justice. I'm called Emma. I propose the nominations closed if seconded by members.
Objection.
Honorable members, there is a motion that the nomination be closed. Is there a seconder to that motion?
Objection.
Is there
Objection.
a secondment? Yes.
Objection.
Thank you. My name is Amanya Stewart from the land of milk and honey, Ankole. I nominate Honorable Nachigude Maria Spera.
Honorable Nachigude.
Procedure.
We dispose one issue at a time. Let's dispose ours. I will accept your procedures. No problem. Yes. Honorable Nachigude, are you taking up the nomination?
Nomination.
Who is seconding the nomination? Okay. We have secondment of the nomination.
Procedure.
Yes. Yes, yes. Your proposal had no secondment. When you move it, is that the motion of closing the nomination?
Yes.
I did not see. Did you hear any person seconding?
Objection.
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 I did not see anyone standing up to second that nomination. That's why we proceeded. Every motion that is moved on the floor must be seconded. So if you have a motion, get a seconder before you.
Objection to the motion.
Objection.
No. There is either a motion and a seconder, and then after it is seconded, it is disposed of. There's no such a thing as objection. So the motion has not been seconded. If someone else has any motion, please get a seconder. Make sure you have someone who will second your motion before you.
Nomination.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Right Honorable Chief Justice. I'm called Emmanuel Abraham, representing Kisoro District, Western Region. I hereby nominate Mr. Tyambaze Moses Laban as the Speaker of the National Youth Parliament. He is capable, he is a graduate teacher, and has been always been involved in the leadership of the youth. Thank you.
Bulu? Laban. Do you accept the nomination?
My name is Tyambaze Moses, a delegate from the Ministry of Gender. I hereby consent to the nomination. Thank you.
Do we have the secondment?
My name is Kwagala Jen from Kisoro, Bunagana Town Council. I stand to second Tyambaze Moses.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, the Chief Justice. My name is Daniel Olara, representing the people of Gulu City. I stand to nominate the Honorable Chan Emmanuel as the Speaker for this 5th sitting of the Youth Parliament.
Secondment.
Right Honorable Chief Justice. My name is Anyango Vanessa. I'm representing from Northern Uganda. I'm the Female Youth Council of Gulu City. I rise up to second the nomination of Ochan Emmanuel. Thank you.
Does Honorable Ochan consent?
Your Lordship, the Chief Justice, my name is Ochan Emmanuel, a Member of Parliament representing youth from Kidgu Municipality. I consent to this nomination.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Chief Justice. My name is Mumbere Godson from Renzo Region. To be specific, Kasese District. I propose that we close the nominations for the office of the Speaker of Parliament.
Seconded.
Who has seconded?
Seconded.
The motion has been seconded by 3 members. So, honorable members, the motion on the floor is that nomination be closed. Will those in favor say aye, the contrary no?
Aye.
Motion is taken. I'll now request those who have been nominated to kindly come in front, take the front seats, and on the basis kindly let's do it faster so that we conclude this exercise and proceed to the next. What do you want? What do you want? No, it's the only method. It's the only method. That's the only method. I'm going to use 1 minute. So these are our candidates. I have maybe the other candidate has pulled out. So we'll ask the candidates to speak in their order of nomination. So, and we are giving you only 1 minute each. Starting with the first nominee. Clerk, you will call their names, starting with the first nominee, and they speak to members. 1 minute.
Honorable Ocheng Timothy.
Hello. Your Worship, honorable colleagues, my name is Timothy Ocheng, a 4th-year law student, and I want to give you a reason why you must vote for me. In 1921, the national legislative curtains were raised in Uganda, but not until 1962 that we got hold as an independent nation. With our struggling economy, the legislative arm of government has done a very fundamental role in not only shaping the rules and the laws of this country, but as well as shaping the economic circumstances surrounding this country. Over the years, many patriots have sacrificed their lives on the altar of freedom. And today, I stand before you as any of you fellow youth, that I have the capability, I have the resolve, I have the ability to represent the youth of this country at any platform given the opportunity. I before you, just like many of you here, my story is similar with any of you here. I was born and raised in Atororo, to be specific, in the poor villages of Asingit, raised and fed by illiterate, economically incapacitated parents, but with ability, dreams of shaping this country, leadership-wise. I was able to attend various schools, but with me, they nurtured servant leadership, they nurtured integrity, they put in me delivery with transparency. I call upon honorable members to consider me for this role. I'll be able to represent at national level, I'll be able to represent you at a regional level, I'll be able to represent you at international level. I have the capacity and capabilities of lobbying and creating economic opportunities for these honorable members. And with inclusivity, I'll consider all regions of this country.
Thank you very much for your eloquent speech to your members. The second speaker.
Honorable Nachigude Maria.
Your Honor, the Chief Justice and the right honorable members of Parliament available. My name is Maria Speria Nachigude, and I'm a 4th-year law student. I think that way back, the youth have not had a number of opportunities, such as platforms to air out their views and have their voices heard. But I believe that with the institution of the National Youth Parliament, we have then gotten an opportunity to air out these views. Now the question is what happens after this parliament, which is what I seek to redress, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that there is participation of the youth and inclusion in a number of policies. However, I think that we can do better than what we have. Therefore, I present myself to you. Why do I think that I am able to achieve this? A, I have lobbying and negotiation skills that I think that are able to table negotiations with the available platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, we have organizations of youth such as the National Youth Council, we have the UNSA. All those are there for us to be able to comprehend ideas so that the youth live a better life. Knowing that I am a person who has negotiation skills, I call upon you to front me or to vote me for Speaker National Youth Parliament so that even after the Parliament, I am able to follow up with what we have discussed. Thank you.
Thank you. Third.
Honorable Ochan Emmanuel.
Your Lordship, the Chief Justice, honorable members, my name is Ochan Emmanuel. I am representing the people of Kitgum Municipality and Northern Uganda Regional Youth Parliament. I stand on this floor today seeking for your support, members, as the Speaker for this House, because I believe that together we can generate a new breed of African leaders. We do not want to sit in this Parliament today and meet again in the next 1 year as we campaign for being the Speaker, the leader of the opposition, or any other positions. We want to have a functional youth parliament which is incorporated within the frameworks of parliament. We want a youth parliament that is able to sit at regular sittings, at quarterly meetings, that is functional. We want a youth parliament that is having strong institutions. We do not want a youth parliament that only sits once a year and then meets once a year. We want a parliament that is going to, at all times, going to collect the views of young people, dissect views of young people, and then be part of the nation-building process by contributing to policies of this nation. We want the issues that are discussed in this parliament incorporated into resolutions that are made in this House. We want to come back here in a year or two. We want to come back here in 5 years' time as full members of this House, as who have been nurtured, who have been molded by this parliament. This is what I stand for. I stand for a parliament that is going to have conversation outside the boundaries of this House. I stand for a parliament that is going to strengthen youth institutions.
Next.
Honorable Welunga Yusuf.
Put on your microphone.
Every nation has thrived and developed because it has empowered the youth. Every nation has developed because the youth of a particular nation have defined their agenda. A simple question to the youth tonight. As the youth of the country, what is our agenda? Briefly, this is a very good platform that can be used to empower, to involve, to mobilize the youth right away from the grassroots to discuss issues pertaining the development of the country. Work together with the youth-related institutions like NYC, like the youth leaders we have in Parliament, and ask them to table these views before on the floor of Parliament. That can only be realized when we mobilize the youth countrywide to define our agenda. Where do we want to go as the youth of this country? Therefore, my fellow youth, Welunga Yusuf is coming up to lay a platform, to involve all of us, to lobby and work with the available organizations for the betterment of this country.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Yusuf. Next.
Honorable Tuyambaze Moses.
I wish to recognize the protocol present. My name is Tuyambaze Moses. As I told you, I'm from the Ministry of Gender, specifically from the Office of the Minister in charge of Youth Affairs. I stand here before you as a nominee on the position of the Speaker, and I want to promise the House here that one, I'm a fast learner. Number two, I'm very exposed to link the youth and to make sure that all our affairs as members of this House reach to the relevant offices. And one of the things I will advocate for, all the things I will have to promote in this House, is equity, whereby if one member is from this side, another one is from this side, there is equity. Many people advocate for equality, but sometimes it is not given the right conceptual meaning. For example, when I pick someone here and here who are not of the same size, and I tell them to touch the roof, that is equality, but it is not equity. But when I pick them and they are not of the same size, and I give them a table of the same size, at least that is equity, and that is what I'll ensure and promote in this House. I thank.
Next. It would appear that all of you have spoken. I will procedure on campaigns. Let me listen to your procedure.
Honorable Chief Justice, I'm raising on a point of procedure. This point was raised before, but you didn't give it attention. We are proceeding with the campaigns, but when I was reading through the rules of procedure, it states that the clerk of parliament has to first ascertain the number of voters in the House before we proceed. Because after this process, these people are moving out, and the process will go on, and the same procedures continue to say that the Speaker will preside over the election of a Deputy Speaker. So if something of that happens, when we have not ascertained the number of the people in the House, I think we are not proceeding very well.
The clerk has ascertained the number of the people in the House. I am going to announce it at an appropriate time when we are going to take the vote. So don't be worried of that. So I'm going to request the contestants to walk out.
Procedure.
To the lobby, the other side.
Procedure.
And, then we'll call you at an appropriate time.
Procedure.
Sergeant, may you please guide them to.
Right, Honorable Chief Justice, I'm raising a procedure.
Yes, what's your matter of procedure?
Right, Honorable Chief Justice, it is within the power of the House to have the candidates know the number of voters they have. Sending them out would mean they don't know the number of their voters. Let the number be declared before they move out.
Honorable members, I take note of your procedure. We will notify them accordingly.
Procedure.
Procedure. Procedure.
Procedure.
No. Procedure.
Procedure. Procedure.
Procedure.
On the same matter?
Yes.
I have said we are going
On a
to
different matter.
But
On a different matter.
we are
Members, let's not abuse the rules.
Procedure.
Let's not abuse the rules as well.
Procedure on a different matter.
Yes.
Right Honorable Chief Justice, I raise on the procedure of voting that the procedure of Parliament does not give provision for online voting. I move to have only physical voting.
Information.
You have said that the procedure of Parliament does not allow for online voting. What specific procedure prohibits online voting? I may want to know that. You see, when you rise on a point of procedure, you must specify the specific rules
Yes.
that prohibits online voting.
Right.
So which specific rules prohibits online voting?
Right Honorable Chief Justice, I'm right here. You can see here.
Which rule prohibits online voting?
My name is Rubankene Francis Shah. I
Yeah.
represent the youth of Northern Uganda,
Okay.
in case you needed to know me. One, the fact that the rule of procedure does not provide for provision of online voting without any clear specification will need a motion to be moved in the House to have an online voting in this Parliament.
I will also let you know that the rules were amended. I know you are reading your rules, your old rules. Some of them, you are downloading them from the internet. During the COVID-19, you may sit down. The chair is listened to while you are seated.
Thank you, Chief Justice.
Thank you very much. The COVID-19 pandemic brought fundamental changes to how we proceed as Parliament. But I want to remind you that every member can vote after the amendment of the rules to take care of COVID-19.
Procedure.
So the rules were amended.
Procedure.
You may not be aware. On the same matter?
I would like for you to clearly tell me us the rules which were amended and how before we can proceed.
The rules of procedure.
Not by your declaration, sir.
It is not by my declaration, but the rules of procedure were amended to allow members of Parliament to attend and participate in parliamentary proceedings online.
Procedure.
All members of Parliament have got the same rights. All members of Parliament have the same rights.
Order.
Okay. Okay. So
Order.
I am not going to allow any more procedures. We are moving.
But this is
to
a point of order, it's
elections.
not debatable. When the House is going out of order, you listen.
I'm not going to allow any point of order at this stage. You are going to raise all those when you have the speaker in the chair. Let me elect for you the speaker, and then you will proceed and raise all those points. We are out of time. So, I would like to notify the House. By the way, the members who have moved out, the House, there are those who are attending online, but also all those who have been nominated and have campaigned are following the procedures. They are following proceedings wherever they have been taken. So I am declaring that the total number of voters in the House is 137. And we are going to vote for the position of the Speaker of the House. I will now ask the clerk to proceed with the vote counting, row by row. The first candidate is Claire. Claire, the list of members, list of candidates.
Point of order, please.
This is very important, Your Honor.
Honorable members, I have ruled that we are proceeding with the elections now. You will raise the point of orders after this process. We are proceeding with the elections, and you have not been permitted to speak at this stage. I will give you the opportunity to speak.
From the chat online, and they seek engagement. They think that
I am aware that there are 55 members following online. We are following what is happening online. It is also displayed on the screens. If you may look out there, you will see on the screens the comments. So if all of us are going to Honorable member, may you take your seat, please? So we are taking into consideration online proceedings. We are following them. We know there are 55 members who are following online, and we are taking care of their interest. None of them raised their hands at any stage so far since we started proceedings. So if any of them is interested in speaking or raising anything, they'll raise their hands and they'll be seen. So at this point in time, I'll request those who support Honorable Ochieng Timothy to raise their hands, starting from members on my right.
Information.
Those in favor of Honorable Otim to be the Speaker of the House, will you please stand up to be counted? Have you been in this House, Honorable Member? Let's concentrate. Let's not just speak for the sake. Let's concentrate. I will now ask those who support Honorable Honorable Ochieng Timothy to stand up to be counted, starting with members on my right. Those in favor of Honorable Ochieng Timothy. Okay, thank you very much. Those in favor of Honorable Ochieng Timothy, those on the left. Thank you very much. Will those in favor of Honorable Nachigude Maria stand up to be counted, starting with those on my right? These are voters for the Honorable Nachigude Maria. I will request those who are not entitled to vote on this side to kindly sit down, take the treasury bench or exit so that we don't count more people than the voters. Those are votes for Honorable Nachigude Maria. May I request those who are in favor of the Honorable Nachigude Maria on my left to stand up? You are expected to vote only once. You'll vote for one candidate. Thank you very much for your votes. Will those in favor of Honorable Ochan Emmanuel stand up? Starting with those on my right. The person who raised. We saw you and we took your vote when you raised your hands up, so your vote was taken. Thank you very much for voting. That's our honorable member representing PWDs. You may now sit down. I will request those in favor of Honorable Ochan Emmanuel on my left to stand up for their votes to be counted. To stand up for their votes to be counted. We'll understand for PWDs, you will just raise your hands up and it will be counted, be sure. Done? Thank you very much. Will we now have those in favor of Honorable Wetunga Yusuf? Honorable Werunga Yusuf on my right. This. Just proceed. Thank you very much. On my left, supporters of Honorable Werunga. Are we? Those who are supporting Werunga, please stand up at once and thank you for your votes. You may now sit down. Will I now ask those who are in favor of Honorable Tuyambaze Tuyambaze Moses? On my right. Thank you very much for your votes. On my left, those in favor of Honorable Tuyambaze Moses. Thank you for your votes. I will ask you to tally. May I ask those who decided to abstain from the voting, those who decided to abstain from the voting, to stand up? We have 4 abstentions. I'll expect those who are tracking online participation to give us an update on the online voting. Okay. I'm requesting the I request the technical team to pick the results from the online voting at the online. Okay. If you can pick. I have been advised that the online system had some trouble. The voters may not have known very well how to use the online voting system, and so I'll declare the online voting to be invalid, and we'll use Honorable members, I did not nullify the online votes. I've just said we are not going to use them anymore because they are invalid because if the system proves to work well, we'll use that for the Deputy Speaker's position, if it works well. But for now, we close the voting for the Speaker. I'm not going to accept any more point of procedure or order. We are only waiting for the results. And as we wait for the tallying for the Speaker, I'm going to ask nominations for the Deputy Speaker. I know the rules.
Procedure.
I know the rules would require that the speaker conducts the election of the deputy speaker, but we have agreed that we are going to modify. The officials who are supposed to be at the opening ceremony are here at the door waiting. So we cannot go through the other process of robing and so on. Okay. So, yes. Yes. I'm now going to allow in the candidates. I have also seen the modifications on the voting. Speaker, deputy speaker, the winner becomes, under the circumstance, under our circumstance, honorable members, the Right Honorable Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda is out waiting for us. We have delegates from the diplomatic missions. We have a number of people who are just at the door and they're leaving in the next 20 to 30 minutes. I'll request you to bear with me that to make this fast enough to allow them to be with us, we have to make a decision now. If we want them to be with us, we will have to allow the speaker to be the winner of these votes and the deputy speaker to be the runner-up. But if we don't, if we choose that we are going for fresh elections, then we should allow that we allow the Right Honorable Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda and the other dignitaries who have meetings elsewhere, we should be able to excuse them, and then we proceed with our elections. So, can I ask those in favor of the procedure I have proposed to say aye, and those who do not favor this procedure to say no? Okay. Once again, I have two issues I'm putting to the House. Number one issue is either we are going to allow our dignitaries to come here and take us through, and we follow the program as it is by going with the votes that I have here, or we agree that we vote the deputy speaker, and in that case, we can actually choose to postpone the vote for the deputy speaker and do it afterwards. Is that okay? Okay. Okay. Now, in that case, I'll declare the speaker. We will get our dignitaries to come in. We go through the official opening ceremony, and then we'll come back, proceed to elect the deputy speaker, and proceed with the rest of the program. Do we agree with that? I think that's a good compromise. I've just received the results. The Honorable Ocheng Timothy got 2 votes. Honorable Timothy Ocheng got 2 votes. The Honorable Nachigude Maria got 41 votes. Yes. Honorable Nachigude Maria got 41 votes. Honorable Ochan Emmanuel got 20 votes. The Honorable Ochan Emmanuel got 20 votes. The Honorable Olanya Yusuf, Welunga Yusuf got 40 votes. The Honorable Tiembaze Mose obtained 3 votes, and the Honorable Tiembaze Mose obtained 3 votes, and there were 4 abstentions. And there were 55 votes nullified because of the online challenges we had. And therefore, out of the 5 candidates, I will declare the Honorable Nachigude Maria duly elected the Speaker of the National Youth Parliament with 41 votes out of the 110 votes cast. Honorable members, these were your votes that were conducted in broad daylight. And I need, may I?
Let members sit. Members sit.
May you take your seats? May you take? May you, honorable members, may you take your seats, and may I request that we act orderly? Can we take our seats and listen to each other? Let's act orderly. Even when we are dissenting, there are procedures for dissenting. There are established procedures for challenging election results. Yes, honorable member?
The microphones are off. Microphones are off.
Okay.
Point of procedure.
Yes. I raise on a point of order. Even when we complained at the beginning of this procedure that it was proceeding hige-haga, there was negligence from your end. As a representative from you,
Please use your phone. Use the microphone. You are actually on record.
But you're switching me off.
It is not me switching
anyway,
you off.
as a representative from the opposition, I want to first and foremost appreciate the fact that a candidate, a speaker, has been selected on our behalf. So, on my point of order, we have the sergeant at arms.
Point of order.
If there is any member that is disagreeing or dissenting from your imposing, kindly throw us out.
Point of order, right?
Honorable members, I think it is okay to dissent, and a parliament is a place for debate. You can only debate because there are 2 positions, and it is acceptable that we express our dissents. All I request is let's be orderly, and let's raise our issues in an orderly manner. But more importantly, specifically, I have had members raise issues and concerns related to the voting of the speaker. I have no powers to revise this. There are established procedures for challenging the election of the speaker, and I will guide that you use the procedures for the challenging of the election of the speaker or deputy speaker for purposes of challenging these elections. You raised the issues of online voting. I listened to you, and I nullified the online votes. On the question of the vote count, we counted them here. If you were doing your own count, you probably would have compared. I hope some of you who are dissenting are done their own counts. That is good evidence for you to challenge the election of the speaker if you did your own count. But the official count are those done by the clerks, those done by the technical officials. Because if I took a count from the leader of opposition or the count from the leader of government business, which side would accept the results? No one would accept the results. So we're proceeding with the results as they are, and any person dissenting will use the established procedure for challenging the results. At this stage, I'm going to request that the duly elected Speaker of the House comes and takes the oath of Speaker. Mm. The Speaker does not?
I'm trying to.
Now, authorize you to take the oath of Speaker.
I, Maria Speria Nachigude, swear in the name of the Almighty God, affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of Uganda, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution, so help me God. I, Maria Speria Nachigude, do swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will at all times well and truly serve the Republic of Uganda in the office of Speaker, and that I will support and uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda by law established, so help me God.
Congratulations. You will be issued with the rules of procedure here. Your rules of procedures and the Constitution to guide your work. You may take your seat and at this point I'm going to request for your patience that we may usher in the delegates who are coming to officiate at the opening ceremony, and thereafter we'll proceed with the election of the Deputy Speaker and other programs as per your resolutions. Is it okay? Yeah, so I'm suspending for 1 minute to allow us to usher in the rest.
will be on. I didn't tell you that I'm going to vote for you. I have a candidate. I cannot tell you because you are my country. I've started the conversation on this week. You see, I ran a poll on Twitter some days back and she won. She had to win. The strategies we put in these things, they are not just an overnight thing. You don't just wake up and win. That's why we are. That's something you can raise on the floor today, all the person. Now, that you announce depending on the speaker. That's what I told you. If she fucks us, we shall fuck her hard. These are the terms we agreed upon.
Honorable members, Speaker, Youth Parliament, accompanied by the National Speaker.
The national anthem. For Uganda, may God uphold thee. The East African anthem. Perez.
Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of humanity, we beseech you to look upon with your abundant favor these your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important tasks in this land. Let your blessing descend upon them here assembled, and grant that they may, as in your presence, tweet and consider all matters that shall come under their deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interests you have committed to their charge. Amen.
The right Honorable Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, the representatives of the diplomatic missions present, the Clerk to Parliament, members of the civil society organizations, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, protocol observed. I welcome you to the official opening of the National Youth Parliament, and our program will run as follows. We'll have brief remarks from the Clerk to Parliament and from Faraja Africa, who will then invite the representative of other partners to make a few remarks, and thereafter the chairperson, Uganda National Youth Council, will give a few remarks, and thereafter we'll have brief remarks from representatives of the diplomatic missions and the youth member of parliament on behalf of the other youth members of parliament. Upon these remarks, the Right Honourable Speaker will make his speech to officially commemorate the opening of the 8th sitting of the 5th meeting of the National Youth Parliament of Uganda. That will take us up to a point upon which the sitting will be suspended before the Speaker of the Youth Parliament takes over thereafter. At this point, let me take this opportunity to invite the Clerk to Parliament to make his remarks.
The Right Honourable Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda, the Right Honourable, His Excellency, the Deputy Ambassador of the German Embassy, His Excellency, the representative of the European Union, representatives of diplomatic missions, representatives of other implementing partners, honorable members, the Executive Director of Africa, Faraja Africa Foundation, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I would like to say that I'm standing in for the Clerk to Parliament, who is engaged in other duties. But substantively, I'm called Wawire Paul, a Deputy Clerk. And these are the remarks of the Clerk to Parliament. I gladly welcome you to the Parliament of Uganda, which is hosting this prestigious event for the 5th time. Last year, the event took place in the chamber of the House when it had just reopened after the lifting of the COVID-19 restrictions. It is a blessing that 1 year later, we are able to use the chamber, unlike in 2020 when we sat in the tent. That said, I urge you to remain conscious and follow the Ministry of Health's current guidelines on COVID-19, especially in confined places. I wish to thank Faraja Africa Foundation and the sponsors for keeping the tradition of the Youth Parliament alive. A forum like this one, held in the National Parliament, is indeed a great privilege, but also a training ground for the participants. Youth are regarded as the next generation of leaders, but in reality, they are the current generation of leaders. The youth are partners and assets in the sustainable development, peace, and prosperity of Africa as envisioned by the African Youth Charter. It is therefore proper for young people to participate in planning and decision-making for the development of the country. As I conclude, let me state that Parliament intends to be a transformed, independent, and people-centered Parliament. Therefore, engagement with citizens, including young people, is a necessary part of the mission of the Parliament of Uganda. The Office of the Clerk Parliament will receive the resolutions of the Youth Parliament and present to you, Madam Speaker, for your further action. I would like to wish you fruitful deliberations and pledge continued support towards the Youth Parliament. Madam Speaker, let me just report also that in the preliminaries, they have elected Honorable Nakimbugwe Sara as the Speaker of Parliament. Nachigude, sorry. I'm sorry. Nachigude, I'm sorry, she's called Nachigude. But that was the people's decision. Okay, let me also take this opportunity to request the participating members, according to regions, to stand up in recognition by the Speaker. Those from Northern Region, please stand up. Those from Eastern Region, please stand up. Those from Western Region, please stand up. And finally, the honorable members from the Central Region, please stand up. Madam Speaker, this is the Youth Parliament. In our midst also there are officials from the Ministry of Gender, the National Youth Council. You may stand up, please, for recognition. Ministry of Gender, the National Youth Council, and implementing agencies. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Perhaps there was an oversight. Honorable Court Boniface, the chairman of the Youth Parliamentary Caucus, I'm very sorry I didn't recognize you. But he's your representative for Northern Uganda and the chairperson of the Youth Caucus in Parliament. Thank you so much for listening to me.
I'll request a representative from Faraja Africa to take the opportunity of making his speech. I'm also being asked to remind us to use the designated time provided as the Right Honorable Speaker as other engagements in the next few minutes. Afterwards, you will invite up to number 5, and please, you're welcome.
Thank you. Protocol observed. Right Honorable Speaker, I would love to thank you for giving us an opportunity as young people to be here. My name is Emmanuel Wawire, Executive Director for Faraja Africa Foundation. But before I make my remarks, I would humbly request that when we were here in the previous Youth Parliament, we were humbly honored by our father, our mentor, and the best friend of Mama, the Right Honorable Speaker, Jacob Oulanyah. And I would humbly request that as the 50th Youth Parliament, we take an opportunity to honor him with a moment of silence, if that's granted. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Madam Speaker, I'd like to say that the Youth Parliament is a space that us as young people, as represented here, with also young people with other special abilities, also young people from Rwenzori, we believe that in these spaces in Uganda where the civic space is reducing constantly, we believe that Parliament as our home can be able to bring young people to the board on making key decision making or to be part of the making of the decisions in the country. And I'd like to ask members of Parliament, members of the 50th Youth Parliament to give an applause to our Speaker who has allowed for us, our issues to come on the floor. Right Honorable Speaker, I'd like to report that young people sat, over 420 young people sat in 7 different sessions of the 50th Youth Parliament, in central Uganda, in Masaka, in western Uganda, Ankole, in Mbarara, in Greater Rwenzori region, in Fort Portal, in Arua, in Gulu, and in Mbale, and in Jinja. And the young people's voices were aggregated into a petition that you'll be receiving on your office. I'd also like to say that this is now the 8th sitting of the 50th National Youth Parliament here. And I'd like to thank every member who participated and the Parliament team for being with us. I'd also like to report that this would not have been possible without the support of our partners. We believe that we can only create the platforms, but at the end of the day, movements and engagements need partners. In a special way, Madam Speaker, in your presence, I'd like to thank the European Union, the German Embassy, GIZ CASP, Action Aid Uganda, WFD, and our partners who have really stood with us over the past periods up to now where we are. In those few remarks, I'd like to welcome all of you here, and I would like to say thank you to the Parliament team, and would like to invite the next speaker. Thank you so much. I take this humble privilege to invite our one and only youth chairperson, Jacob Eyeru.
Thank you so much. I thought that it wouldn't be myself. Right Honorable Speaker, the head of the delegation of the European Union, my brother and able leader, Comrade Okot Boniface, members of the diplomatic corps, members of the youth parliament, ladies and gentlemen. Where I come from in Soroti, we say Yoga Bunere, meaning warm welcome. I will speak for a very short while in the interest of time. The word parliament comes from the French word parler, which is to speak. And I hope that this gathering of young people is going to be able to be a platform that you can utilize to amplify to this country yet again the issues that young people face. I know that there are very many platforms through which young people can speak, but the epitome of our practice of democracy as a country remains this small room where you are now privileged to sit. Many of you do not know the opportunity you have received. In Uganda today, you have 9.5 million voices between your age group of 18 to 30. And you now speak as only among about 120 in this room that are supposed to represent the plight of those people, represent their concerns, but also demonstrate their capacity to be the next faces of leadership in this country. The Right Honorable Speaker has been at the forefront of ensuring that platforms of young people are visible. She has been at the forefront, as you will hear from Comrade Okot, of the voices of youth in Parliament, not just youth MPs, but youthful MPs being seen as voices of great addition and great concern in this country. Today is not my day. Today is your day. And I want to say very strongly that use today to demonstrate to this country that the young people of this country have ideas, they know the issues, but they also have the capacity to determine direction. I look forward to hearing, I look forward to listening, but most importantly, I look forward to the rejuvenation of the capacity of young people in this country to believe in yourselves and to lead your own development. I thank you.
Representatives of diplomatic missions, starting with the European Union representative.
Right Honourable Speaker, Honourable Member of Parliament, the Clerk to Parliament, representative of Ministry, Department and Agency, the Chairperson of the National Youth Council, the Deputy Head of Mission, German Embassy, youth leaders, representative of civil societies, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the European Union, I'm delighted to be here with you today in the Parliament of Uganda. Seeing youth participation made a reality at national level in this 5th National Youth Parliament, whose theme is intergenerational solidarity, creating a space for all ages. First, let me take this opportunity to congratulate the Right Honourable Speaker upon your election to this position. Indeed, we wish you a fruitful term of service. We also appreciate the Parliament of Uganda under the office of the Right Honourable Speaker for ensuring that young people are provided a space to participate in legislative processes. I wish to acknowledge and appreciate the commitment of all stakeholders represented here in making meaningful youth participation possible and creating a space for young people's concerns to be considered in national planning and development through existing legal, legislative and policy structures. We are glad that with the support of the European Union and the German government through CUSP, the Civil Society in Uganda Support Program, youth representatives from across the country are meeting here today with political leaders and decision makers as we convene the 5th National Youth Parliament. We've also been informed that 3 motions have been prepared by the young people for today's House sitting following a participatory consultation process organized by Faraja Africa Foundation across the country. In Europe, the year 2022 has specifically been dedicated as the European Year of Youth in order to shine a light on the importance of youth in building a better future, a future that is more inclusive. The European Union in Uganda has a long history of working with youth through its development cooperation. This has been through various projects providing resources for skilling, employment creation, participation in policy and development processes, and organizational development for youth organizations, among others. For instance, just last month, the government of Uganda and the European Union partnered towards the third African peer review mechanism Youth Symposium in Kampala. The symposium was a landmark event bringing together young people from Africa and Europe to debate youth participation in development. There are currently ongoing skilling and employing creation projects funded by the European Union worth €3 million through partnership with various civil society organizations. Through a local call for proposal process, some €4 million will be contracted this year for activities that empower youth economically and support their engagement in policy processes and activities that prevent and respond to teenage pregnancies. To ensure youth engagement, the European Union delegation will also set up a youth sounding board as a space for young people to engage with the EU on its development cooperation. Making youth voices heard is important if the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development is to be achieved. To address the critical mismatch between youth, labour demand and supply, the European Union launched in 2020 the Skill, Attitude, Governance and Anti-Corruption Programme was €5 million. In June 2022, in partnership with the German Corporation, we've launched a vocational education and training toolbox project to support the skilling of technicians in installation of and maintenance of solar mini-grids. This year, together with Belgium, we will commit additional €50 million to support skilling and job creation, to contribute to increasing the availability of qualified workers and the employability of youth, as well as creating new job opportunities in green economic sectors such as sustainable agriculture, renewable energy, green construction, ecotourism and hospitality, circular manufacturing and ICT. To support action to increase social inclusion and gender equality, the EU, in cooperation with Belgium, Germany and the United Nations, will also allocate €60 million to support quality education, especially for adolescent girls, while also addressing sexual and reproductive health and rights and sexual and gender-based violence. The European Union and its member states also support youth engagement in the key issue of climate change and environmental conservation. As part of the national greening campaign, the European Union supports woodlot and tree planting establishment through environment and climate change clubs in schools. As I conclude my remarks, let me say that leaders need to acknowledge that, in line with the event theme, youth are not only the future, but they are also the present. The young people need access to services and opportunities today, not tomorrow. I also urge the young people and youth leaders present here today to walk a dignified path which aim at creating a corruption-free future for Uganda, where young people in decision-making do not betray their peers by becoming corrupt and abusing their power. Young people gathered here are people committed to make a real difference and be a central actor in shaping a brighter future for all of us. On behalf of the European Union, I wish you all fruitful deliberations. Thank you very much for your attention.
Representative from the mission of the Federal Republic of Germany.
Right, Honourable Speaker of Parliament, Honourable Members of Parliament, the Deputy Clerk, representatives of ministries, departments and agencies, the Chairperson of the National Youth Council, the head of the governance section at the EU delegation, youth leaders, representatives of civil society, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure to give opening remarks on behalf of the German government on this important occasion. Today we have gathered here in the Chamber of Parliament, the democratic heart of the Republic of Uganda, to give the young generation a voice, to give young people a venue to raise their ideas, wishes and concerns, as well as to ensure that we hear the young generation and involve it in governmental decision-making processes. I'm very pleased to witness the convention of the 5th National Ugandan Youth Parliament today. Youth parliaments, in my perception, are important strategic instruments to help the youth express their views and to foster effective youth participation in public policy processes here in Uganda, but elsewhere as well, for example, in my own country, Germany. Youth parliaments help us embark on a democratic process with the goal not only to make politics for the young generation, but also, and this is very important, with the young generation. I'm glad that German Development Cooperation is able to contribute to this process of stepping up the voices of the youth here in Uganda. The Strengthening Governance and Civil Society program, co-funded by the European Union, has supported our local partner Faraja Africa Foundation to stage a round of regional youth parliaments on the important topic youth participation in planning and budgeting processes. The discussions from the regional level now feed into this 5th National Youth Parliament. It is evident that poverty, hunger, violence, conflicts and climate disasters affect the young generation particularly strongly. As future generation, youth have a personal interest in making sure that we overcome these problems. They are also an important driving force behind innovative ideas to tackle these challenges. Young people are agents of change, and we will not achieve sustainable development if we disregard their views on social, economic, and ecological matters. At this point, I would like to highlight the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, in short CRC, which came into place more than 30 years ago, and which includes the right to participation for young members of our society as a central pillar. Almost all countries ratified this international treaty on children's rights, and so did Uganda and Germany. In light of this, we have to consider the involvement of a young generation in public decision-making processes, not only as a guiding principle, but also as an obligation. To give you an example, let me jump quickly to Germany. In order to include youth voices in the planning, implementation, and monitoring of development cooperation strategies, the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation, BMZ, which is financing this very program here, Strengthening Governance and Civil Society program, established a Youth Advisory Council in May last year. The role of this Youth Council is to advise on the German Ministry's cooperation strategies from the youth perspective, to propose new ways of youth participation in the shaping of German development cooperation, and to draft position papers and proposals on issues affecting children and youth. Encouragingly, the creation of this Youth Advisory Council was in itself a participative process. A group of young representatives advised and supported the ministry for 2 years in designing this concept. Today, the council has 15 members in 4 thematic working groups: climate and environment, child labor, cooperation with Africa, and education. In autumn, BMZ and the Youth Council are going to organize the first international youth forum that will involve youth representatives from all around the world to discuss issues around youth participation in development cooperation. Before I conclude, let me come back to Uganda. Dear youth representatives present today, it is up to you to raise your voices and make yourself heard. This 5th National Youth Parliament is a great occasion to foster youth participation in Uganda and a great opportunity for youth representatives to create an impact at such a high level. Therefore, I wish you all a very productive debate and thank you for the opportunity to address you on this special occasion. Thank you very much.
may I invite the youth member of parliament for Northern Uganda to make his remarks, and thereafter invite the Right Honorable Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda to officially commemorate the sitting of the 8th sitting of the 5th meeting of the National Youth Parliament. Honorable Member.
The Right Honorable Speaker of the Republic of Uganda, the members of the diplomatic corps, representatives of MDAs present, representatives of civil society organizations that are present, the leadership of the National Youth Council, and any members of parliament that are here present, and you, the youth delegates of the 5th National Youth Parliament. I want to, in a very special way, take this particular privilege to welcome you to the Parliament of Uganda. You're all most welcome. Secondly, I want to also take this opportunity to congratulate you, the delegates of the young people who are here to deliberate on behalf of the young people from the different constituencies that you come from. I acknowledge the constituencies of the Youth Council, of UNSA, the constituency of the youth councillors, and I understand that all of you are representing some organizations. The purpose of this particular parliament is for you to mostly deliberate on affairs of the young people. And today you've earned yourselves the title honorable for at least a day. So congratulations. And I know when you go back to your homes, probably the title honorable will still stick on you. So we expect you to continue serving the young people diligently. But in a very special way, before the youth leaders who are here, I want to thank the Right Honorable Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda, particularly for her commitment to serving the young people. The Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda makes it a point to ensure that this Parliament, on issues that arise, the voices of the young people are not silent, and we thank her for that. That commitment gives me confidence that this particular sitting is not in futility. It is not true that you will only enjoy the air conditioning of this very important house and the voices will remain here, but the Speaker, through discussions that we've had, is committed to ensuring that the voices, the concerns that arise from this discussion eventually finds its way on the floor of Parliament. I am here as well in the capacity of the Minister of State for Youth Affairs, who has shared with me that she will be unable to join us. But she has shared with me a brief statement that she would want you, the young people, to listen to. And I'll read this verbatim, because I understand that we still have some time and the Speaker will probably be proceeding, so we'll still have room to discuss. But this is the statement of the Minister of State for Youth and Children's Affairs. She acknowledges and recognizes the protocol and says that I'm very happy to witness the youth of Uganda having their 5th National Youth Parliament. The participation of young people in mock parliamentary sessions is part of the strategy to expose and sharpen young people's embrace of democratic principles. The dialogue of any form is the most civilized manner of developing consensus. Youth participation is entrenched within the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda under various articles, namely Article 32 on affirmative action, Article 78 on representation in Parliament, and Article 1 that emphasizes that power belongs to the people. The political will of government on youth participation is evident through the Constitution and the existence of the National Youth Councils and the provisions in the Local Government Act of 1997. The youth participation is guided by young people's acquisition of knowledge and information. You can only meaningfully participate in any debate at any level if you arm yourselves with data and information. Young people must seek the power of ICT and strive to be relevant at all times. But I caution you also not to misuse it. The youth must equally utilize their education to discover new solutions to problems, but also seek to innovate ways of making life easy and sustainable. Finally, in whatever you do as youth leaders, seek to build an intergenerational solidarity across ages and seek to leave no one behind. We have taken serious note, we'll take serious note of your views and concerns, and these concerns will be discussed through the most appropriate channels of government. And she says thank you to the delegates of the young people. And finally, on my own behalf, I want to state that the greatest resource of our continent will continue to be our young population. It is never the gold or the diamonds, but your energy as the young people. Take advantage of your numerical strength, your vibrance, and innovations to progress our continent. I wish you good deliberations, and we'll be here to listen to the discussions as they go on. Thank you very much. I take this particular honor to welcome the Speaker of the Republic of Uganda. Right Honorable, you're most welcome to officially launch the 5th National Youth Parliament. Thank you.
The Speaker of the Youth Parliament, the distinguished ambassadors and developed partners, the clerk to Parliament, the chairperson, National Youth Council, the representatives of the civil society, the youth, the young people present, distinguished guests that have been invited for this youth parliament, as Parliament of Uganda and as the Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, I wish to welcome all of you for this session, and I want to congratulate the young people for this session. It is on the same vein that I also want to congratulate the Speaker-elect, Right Honorable Nachigude Maria. Welcome and congratulations, and thank you for voting a lady. Most important, a lady. I also wish, in a special note, to thank the civil society, the development partners, for making this happen today. Thank you so much, and we will always remain a people-centered parliament as Parliament of Uganda. We want to work to partner with you to ensure that the parliament works together with the youth parliament. We are very grateful that you've made this day happen. Thank you so much. The honorable members who are present, as he has said, your honorable members for a day or two, whatever it may be. When you're in a house, you need to maintain some sense of respect and decorum. If you don't agree with your colleague, you don't agree with anybody presenting, make sure there are right procedures for you to exercise your disagreement. So you don't just start making noise. I heard you making some noise for my clerk. That was wrong. You don't do that. If you're not satisfied, put up your hand, say procedure. Is it right to do A, B, C, D? That is a decent way of doing things. 2, COVID is still there. I request all the honorable members to put on your masks. Put on your masks. We must respect the SOPs. As a country with over 75% population that is with the age of below 30, it is critical that we use different approaches to address the challenges that affect the youth in Uganda. The approach that you're using now is a very good approach, that members of parliament here, the youth who are here, are able to express their challenges, whatever they are going through. The youth are able to express. And I want to tell you, it is only in this parliament, this small building here, where decisions are made. Whether good or bad, all the decisions that concern the country are made in this small building here. So I want to thank you for associating yourselves with this small building called the Parliament of Uganda. The challenges the youth have include the post-COVID-19 economic challenges. We have the climate change that is affecting agricultural output and the food security. The population growth, which greatly affects the living standards and creates the urban migration, rural-urban migration. The land ownership, I believe most of you have parents or yourselves that have land. Accessibility of loans with high interest rates, lack of access to social services, and lack of skills, among others. These are some of the things that are affecting our youth. We would be having a productive youth, but because of these challenges, the youth remain to be not successful. And as government of Uganda, I want to pledge, and as parliament, I want to pledge that we will have to make sure that the youth are included in the national agenda. I am aware of different efforts that have been put in place by government to address the challenge of youth livelihood programs like the Green Jobs from Minister of Gender, graduate volunteer schemes, and others. I am also happy that Honorable Court Boniface has brought a motion urging government to sort out the challenges that the youth have in Uganda, and that motion will be presented in the House on Tuesday. We do not do things because the youth are part of us. For us, we want to see how we support the youth, and we've given him all the necessary assistance that he wants in drafting it, and it is only left with the tabling on table, a debate, and we make resolutions that will be sent to executive. Without the youth, this government is nowhere. You're very, very important in society. And I really want to thank you for all the work that you're doing in making sure that we sustain our country. However, oftentimes the young people have asserted that they have not been consulted in engagement of policy making policy making. And this is why we are encouraging the youth parliament here. The resolutions that will have come out of your debate today, out of your deliberations, will be captured and sent to me for reconsideration. And we will send the resolutions to different ministries and make a follow-up that the ministries give a feedback on what they have done on the resolutions that you've derived today. We want an inclusion of the youth in whatever we do. So we are going to make sure it is not a top-down approach. Now it is a down-top approach. Therefore, it is important for us to have this kind of fora and many others that include the youth and support the involvement of making the policy statements, and that creates an inclusion of you to influence the policy and legislative making of processes. I want to encourage you that you will need that kind of resolutions to be derived from here. If you talk about the eastern region, I saw the eastern region, central, northern. This, you should be able to bring all issues that concern your areas. Now look like what is happening now, the floods. If you talk about Bugisu, you talk about Teso, it's affected by floods. So one of your solutions should be your involvement in ensuring that an action is taken in those areas. So as a youth, I urge you to do that. There are so many opportunities there, but there are no people who are following it up. There are jobs, green jobs. Young people, there is money that has been provided for. For instance, the PDM, you must have a percentage that goes to the youth. When we're debating the issue of PDM here, we said we must have a percentage that goes to the youth and a percentage that goes to the women. We will not allow to be just put to work with everybody. And I was meeting people with disabilities this morning in my office, and people with disabilities, you can't put them anyhow with anybody. You need to have a percentage too that goes for people with disabilities. I urge all the stakeholders to prioritize on the youth question and devise the intervention that will empower the youth. The development partners want you to develop the youth by intervening on whatever they do. To you, the youth, please take an interest to participate in different opportunities. There are so many opportunities outside there. And those opportunities, like I've already said, the PDM. You need somebody, somebody who is hardworking to get what you want. If you sit back and say, I am a youth, I don't know what to do, I don't have what to do, then you will not develop. You need to be active for you to get what you want. And as a people-centered parliament, we pledge our full support to the resolutions that you will have made during this youth parliament session of today, and ensure that the issues that you raise will be catered for and will be handled. And we will share a report of the actions taken on your resolutions with you. We should be able to share with you. Honorable Court will be able to share with you. But this will come out on Tuesday, that we had a youth parliament today, and these are the resolutions. That will be laid on table so that it becomes official. It will be laid on table and will direct different ministries to handle issues that affect their ministries. I would also want to once again thank the organizers of the National Youth Parliament 2022 and wish you really wonderful deliberations. As I conclude, I want to take this singular honor to officially invite the Speaker of the Youth Parliament to go and take over her seat and now chair the House. I say all this for God and my country.
The House will be suspended for 5 minutes to allow the different dignitaries to leave.
Actually, I couldn't tell third I've filled away from Kasese services. Where were you sitting? I'm not a drunkard, I don't take alcohol. But you never participated. And I'm going to be campaigning for that. And we throw you out of this house. Come back to the hood and the boys will hold you accountable. No one can ever hold you accountable for wronging someone who is defaming me. Right now I'm a honorable member of parliament. You have no right to call me. You know someone is calling me for food. Speaker's chamber. But that's what. But me, they didn't even check me, and I didn't check that. It's for us. We just don't. We have an opportunity. They all. I leave the voice in. Samba. Samba. It's fine. Well, it's an honorable member. Don't put on your mask. Samba. I am heartbroken. Unaware. Unaware. Yes, take it. Let me see.
Honorable members, communication from the chair.
I'd like to welcome everyone for the 5th National Youth Parliament and thank all of you for entrusting me with the office of the National Youth Parliament Speaker. And I request all of you to participate actively, air out your views so that we can have a productive and hence effective parliament thereafter. Also, would like to recognize the presence of teachers and pupils of Chanja Christian School in the gallery, and also teachers and pupils of Njumba Primary School, Wama in PG District. We can proceed with the order.
Elections of the Deputy Speaker.
pursuant to order number 6 of the rules of procedure, we are supposed to have the election of the speaker. And I'll therefore, Deputy Speaker, so I'll therefore call for nominations, but let us do this very fast so that we can proceed.
Procedure.
Privilege.
Procedure.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for this latitude. My name is Oremo Dwe. I'm a youth leader from Dokolo District. I'm basically here on this platform, on the floor of Parliament, Uganda, to nominate Rubankene Francis Shah for the position of Deputy Speaker of the 5th National Youth Parliament. Rubankene David Shah is a very dignified young man, a man of impeccable character, and an advocate of the youth. So I present him with his candidature and his much enriched wisdom and expertise in dealing with the affairs of the youth to be the speaker, the deputy speaker of the 5th National Youth Parliament. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Can we have a seconder? Yes, please.
Thank you, Right Honorable. Pasquina Sio, the member of the National Youth Council Executive. I stand to second the nomination.
Does Mr. Shah accept the nomination?
Madam Speaker, it is not Mr. Shah, it is Honorable Shah in this case, and I duly accept the nomination.
Okay. Any other
Procedure,
nominations?
Madam Speaker.
Yes. It's his.
Like that. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm Izzat Khan bin Ibrahim Sultan. I'm here to nominate Namutebi Ruth Elizabeth on the position of Deputy Speaker. I don't want to speak much about her, but I want to say she's a mother, and you know what I mean by a mother. I don't want to speak it.
Can we have someone to second? Do we have a seconder? Yes, please, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I second the nomination of...
What is your name?
I'm called Darren Namatov. I second the nomination.
Any other nomination? Yes, Honorable.
Yes. Yes, Honorable Speaker. I'm Mwendo Cosmas from Kasese, and I've stood up to submit to you an integrity lady, and so serious and active, Nyaburu
Procedure.
Justin.
Procedure.
My name is Rugumayo. I raise on a matter of procedure. A member has been nominated, but we do not know if she accepts or declines the nomination. Before we proceed to the next item of another nomination, we beg to know whether she is available for.
Thank you, Honorable. Does Honorable Namutebi Ruth accept the nomination?
Right, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Namutebi Ruth Elizabeth accepts. Thank you.
So I think I proceed. So I had risen the name of Nyaburu Justin, and I would wish we members of Parliament, of this youth Parliament, to really support her. Thank you.
Seconder.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Onapa Ambrose. I hereby second Nyaburu Justin to be a Deputy Speaker. Thank you.
Does the Honorable accept the nomination?
Good afternoon, honorable members
Order,
and
order.
the right speaker.
Order accepted.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Ezra Ambasize, former or fourth Speaker of the National Youth Parliament. The traditional culture of this House is that if the Speaker is a female, then the Deputy Speaker should be a male. So for that matter, I would like to propose that whoever is nominating, let's nominate a gentleman. Thank you very much.
Second.
Order accepted.
Procedure.
Right Honorable Speaker, I am John Solomon Nabuyanda, and I rise on a point of order. Right Honorable Speaker, tradition does not take precedence over rules and the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land. Right Honorable Speaker, as I sit down on this point of order, I want to note that the Constitution is very clear when it speaks against discrimination. Therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, to protect the whims of the rules of procedure and the Constitutional Republic of Uganda that we stand for as legislators, it is not in order. Or I would love to take your inquiry, Right Honorable Speaker, whether it's in order for tradition to take over precedence, laws that have already been constituted.
It is not in order, therefore the law shall be adopted. Any further nominations?
Allow me, honorable speaker, to accept the nomination as the deputy speaker of the fifth cohort. Nyaburo Justin.
All right. Any other nomination? Yes.
Right
Honorable
Honorable.
Speaker, by the name Zambirungi Miria, representing the youth of Kaliro District, Soga Sub-Region, Eastern Region. I'm here by nominating Honorable Kamanzi Enoka. Thank you. For Deputy Speaker.
Anyone to second?
Right Honorable Speaker, I'm here in the disability section. My name is Chigenyi Rashid. I'm the representative of youth with disabilities, Ginger City. I'm seconding Enoch Kamanzi for deputy speakership. Thank you.
Okay.
Nominations.
Notice that we have some people online, so we'll be giving an opportunity to Kimara Harmony. Yes, Kimara, your hand is up. Okay. I think.
Nomination.
Yes, Kimara.
Yes, thank you, Madam Right Honorable Speaker. I want to confirm if I can be heard.
Yes, you can be heard.
Thank you very much. Yes, my name is Kimara Harmony, a youth from Northern Uganda, UCU student in my final year. And I want to nominate a candidate. Before that, I want to express my...
Who do you nominate, Honorable Kimara?
4 hours, and the online audience has not been recognized at all. And we have candidates who would love to participate in the House.
Honorable Kimara, who do you nominate?
I am nominating Mr. Owen Innocent Kidega for the position of Deputy Speaker of the 5th National Youth Parliament. Thank you very much.
Anyone to second Kidega? Honorable Kidega? Is Honorable Kidega in the house?
Nomination.
Procedure.
Nomination.
Right Honorable Speaker, procedure.
Procedure.
Right Honorable Speaker, I'm right here on your right hand. I would request that when a candidate is nominated, the candidate is asked to accept the nomination before the secondment. That would look
more legitimate.
Motion. Nomination.
Motion accepted.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Daniel Olara from Gulu City. I move a motion that the nomination for Deputy Speaker should be closed.
Nomination.
Seconded.
Nomination, Right
Seconding.
Honorable Speaker.
Anyone to...
Seconding. Nomination.
Seconded.
Right Nomination,
Thank you, Right
Honorable
Honorable.
Speaker.
Thank you, Right Honorable Madam Speaker. My name is Chipaya Dennis, and my constituency is Uganda National Students Association, and I stand up to second the motion to support the nominations closed. Thank you.
We have to first dispose of the motion that was raised. So if there is anyone who seconds the motion to close, they can second it. And if it is not, then we can proceed.
Thank you, Madam Right Honorable Speaker. I have just seconded the motion, but still I can still repeat my statement. I said Chipaya Dennis is my name, and my constituency is Uganda National Students Association. I stand to second the motion to close the nominations.
So the nominations have been hereby closed. We shall request
Privilege.
Yes, please. Procedure.
The motion has been presented and seconded. Procedurally, we are supposed to vote on it and rather not a ruling because it's not a point of order where you rule on whether it's in order or not, but a motion to be voted on by the House. Thank you, Right Honorable.
The motion shall proceed to be voted on by the House. Those that are in favor of closing the nomination can put up their hands. Clerk, kindly count. Those that are in support of the motion can put up their hands. The motion to close the nomination for Deputy Speaker. I said raise your hands. And those that are not in favor? So the nomination can be closed. And then let us request the
Point of privilege.
Let us request the members to come
Privilege.
forward and denied. Can we have the members to come up front for us to hear from them? You have 1 minute to talk to the House, and then we shall proceed with the voting. Can we have Honorable Francis Shah, Honorable Namutebi Ruth, Honorable Nyaburu Justin, and Honorable Kamanzi Enoch. Please come forward. You have only 1 minute to convince the House, and after that you shall be guided out. Can we do that very quickly? So we shall start with Honorable Francis Shah. You have-
Procedure.
Procedure accepted.
When we are voting for the Speaker, thank you, Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And I want to insist that the clerks first ascertain the number of the voters. And I also want to move a motion that once we are voting as honorable members, we count numbers 1, 2, 3 openly, not as what happened before. Thank you.
Procedure accepted.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Zerida Kakai, and I am standing up on a procedural matter that this time round, let each candidate have an agent for purposes of fairness and transparency. Thank you very much.
So we shall have the clerks announce the numbers of people in the House, and the voting shall happen accordingly. Denied, really. Denied. Can we have Honorable Francis Shah, as the clerks take note of the numbers that are in the House. Honorable Francis, proceed. 1 minute.
Thank you very much. Today's morning, I woke up and I brushed my teeth, cleaned my mouth, and came to this parliament. But before that, I actually used Rwenzori water to do that. And while doing that, I remembered that Nabila Toko has 226 deaths due to famine in Uganda. There's a flood happening in Mbale and has killed a number of people, destroyed businesses of youth. We are seeing what's happening in Karamoja, deaths. Arua and West Nile is not connected to the national power grid. Ladies and gentlemen of the August House, all these brought the weight of this parliament to my shoulders, that this parliament must matter. This parliament should not be ceremonial the way it is, that it should give the youth something. And I move to be the deputy speaker of this house to bring meaning to a parliament. This is a tool to padlock youths, to accommodate youth voices, not to actually participate in preparation of this nation. I ask you.
Can we have Honorable Namtevi Ruth?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you, members of Parliament. I am representing the people of Central. My name is Honorable Namtevi Ruth Elizabeth. Professionally, I happen to be an architect, but I'm also a great public speaker. I also volunteer as a social worker with people living with HIV like me. In the previous Parliament, in the previous sitting, I happened to move the first motion, which was to do with teenage pregnancies. And courtesy of that, I was able to advocate for people like you and me. I am a voice for the voiceless. Members of Parliament, if you are looking to vote for someone who will move your personal agendas, believe me, I am not the one. But if you are looking for the right person to do the right thing at the right time, I am the right woman for the job. The youth deserve such service. This isn't about where we come from or who loves us. This is about our ability to serve and execute. Make no mistake, I am the woman for this job. Vote for me. Thank you.
Order. Order, Speaker.
Order accepted.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity, but I find it not in order. The office of the Deputy Speaker is a very important office in this nation, actually 5th in hierarchy. So it's not procedurally correct and not in order for that matter to give people 1 minute. It doesn't give us ample time to evaluate people's competences on a fair basis. I would like to kindly seek you to use your discretion, at least give them some little more time. At least 1 minute really can't make sense. Somebody would have narrowly begun to speak. Let us assess these people based on their merits. It's a very important office. Thank you very much.
If the position of the speaker was given 1 minute, I think that it is also short of protocol for us to allow a deputy speaker more time. So can we have Honorable Nyaburu Justin? Yes, 1 minute.
Good afternoon, honorable members. The Right Honorable Speaker, protocol observed. Nyaburu Justin, and if you are talking about leadership, I'm here to stand in the gap. Let's not bring gender here, but let's vote capability. I came from Makerere University, but right away from Tororo, representing the people of Eastern Uganda. So I'm here to tell you that I'm the right person for deputy speakership in the 5th cohort. I'm requesting you to support me because I'm here to represent the voice of the people out there who cannot speak on their own. And I'm the voice of the voiceless. I've been a leader as the vice president at College of veterinary medicine, animal resources, and biosecurity, but apparently we are not voting because of what happened, but I stood in as a speaker. So you people, I'm capable, I'm a young, energetic youth. I'm requesting you to vote for me, and I will stand in for you. I believe in teamwork. When I come in leadership, I will not leave you people. We shall work together and
Can we now have Honorable Kamanzi Enoch?
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Enoch Kamanzi. I'm a lawyer by profession. I'm the President, Genius Generation Agenda, and I'm a youth leader from Mubende District. Right Honorable Speaker, given this August month and this August House, I'd like to proceed to give this August speech. That as young people, as a believer, I want to first quote the book of Ezra, chapter 10 and verse 4, that reminds us that rise up, take courage, and do it. As young people, we can do it. We can change this parliament from being a ceremonial parliament to a real active parliament, and rejuvenating and reactivating. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And given that opportunity, we can rejuvenate this August House into a real August House with structures and functional, not attending one ceremonial August House. I therefore move and request that you vote for me as Deputy Speaker, and we shall ensure that that is achieved. Thank you so much. God bless us.
Okay, can we now have the honorable contestants led outside so that the voting can commence immediately? The
Point of
voting shall be by show of hands.
Point of inquiry, Madam Speaker. Point of inquiry.
Procedure. Procedure, Madam Speaker.
Inquiry
Point of
accepted.
inquiry.
Procedure.
Inquiry accepted.
Thank you so
Procedure,
much.
Madam.
By name, I'm Chiwewa Joel Julius, the Guild President, Mutesa the First Row University, and a youth representative from Chotela District. Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity granted to me. However, I would like to inquire from you, Madam Speaker, are the people online going to also vote, be engaged? Because I've seen you, gauging on them as they have been giving their submissions, and they intended to bring participants, all people, to come and contest for the positions. Are they going to vote, or it's going to be as it has been before for the speakership as they were contesting, that we shall not count on them? Thank you.
I have been guided that since they are also participants of the parliament, we shall have them voting. That's what I've been guided.
Did they vote for you?
Procedure, Madam Speaker.
Procedure accepted.
Procedure.
Right Honorable Speaker, I rise again on the point of order. Earlier on, two honorable members moved two motions, which motions were very important in this particular session, that first and foremost we did not vote upon them, but you happen to have ruled against them. And the first motion was the clerks to ascertain and disclose the number of voters in the House. And secondly, you also ruled that the members appoint an agent for purposes of transparency. Therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, alternatively guiding this House, it is not in order for us to proceed or for the candidates to move out without appointing their agents and also disclosing the number of voters to this Honorable House.
They have forwarded the numbers within the August House, and
Order.
Apart from
Order.
Denied. Apart from the
Point of order.
contestants themselves, we have
Order.
133
Order.
honorables denied.
Order.
Point of order.
Procedure,
Order.
Madam Speaker.
Denied. Can we have order in the
Stop.
House? Can we have order in the House? So on the issue of how many people we have 133 physical, but since there has been a lot of contestation on online voting, people suggest, or the motions was ruled in favor that the online votes be ignored. So the same rules are going to proceed for
Order.
the House. What is the order?
Procedure, Madam Speaker.
Who raised the point of order? Please proceed.
Madam Speaker, I believe it being a national youth parliament, this is a platform whereby we need to do collections, national youth parliament. So even when we have moved motions, do this and do that, and they're trying to be kicked aside because of the power, I'd want to demand that we know the numbers present by count of the heads physically, and that should be done by the clerk. Thank you.
That has already been done by the
No.
Inquiry.
No.
Okay, order in the House. Clerk, kindly stand up and count per head. Shall we now have order in the House?
Let's just count ourselves.
Inquiry. Also
Procedure.
Procedure, Madam Speaker.
Procedure accepted.
We are diluting the debate, more or less looking like high school debates. I'm sorry to blame you, Madam Speaker, but the issues of every time telling us how you've ruled, even on issues we are supposed to vote. Madam Speaker, the speed you're driving us. We are looking like high school kids here. Let's try to, raise the standard of our debate. Please, on the motions, if you are supposed to vote, let's vote. Issues of just ruling, Madam Speaker, you're diluting our debate. Thank you.
Procedure, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, procedure.
Denied in the interest of time.
Madam Speaker, procedure.
Madam Speaker,
We are not on hurry.
Can we have order in the House? You asked that we count the people in the House. Most of you keep moving around. We do not understand how you expect this person to count even when you're moving up and down. And again, we do not have a lot of time. Notice how we have not even started on the motions yet that are very key and fundamental. So in the spirit of achieving what the parliament is about, I beg that we maintain some sort of order, get the voting done, and get to the substantive matter, unless all of you came here to vote, really. So let us have the counting happen. Denied. Let us have the counting happen, and we proceed with the voting.
Madam Speaker, as the counting is going on.
Denied. Denied.
Madam Speaker, it should be loud.
No.
Point of order, Madam Speaker. Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Point of order,
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Order accepted.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to move on to great irregularities we are conducting as a House. One, we have our fellow honorable colleagues online. These are duly honorable members as we are. They have privileges and rights as we have. The other reason that they did not get a chance was because they had technical issues. So there is no any reason you can deny them a chance and a right to vote. Secondly, Madam Speaker, as contestants, we are being told to get out when we are going to vote, which means that we are being denied our right to vote ourselves. Thank you so much.
Order denied. Let us finish the counting, please. I told you that we need to finish this and get to the material content of the parliament.
Madam Speaker, point of orders are not denied. We need to bring the House into order.
Order.
Order is denied. So for purposes of transparency, the physical number of honorables in the House is 133, as earlier mentioned. So can the honorables move out for us to order accepted?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, once again for the opportunity you've given me. Just like the honorable member here talked about the online voting, I want to send my plea to your office and let you know that the online voting, first and foremost, is not practical. While seated there, I was monitoring the participation online, and I've realized the number is fluctuating each and every moment. You find it is 5, 10, 12. So we do not have a parameter we are going to take in ascertaining the number of people who are going to vote online, and we are not sure whether the number that shall be availed to us will be the exact number we are going to have unless the House and the technical team is willing to display the voting process online and we see on the screen. I send my plea that we don't have the online votes considered. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
So as earlier, I have already been guided that we are going to follow the same procedure as it was for Speaker, and thereafter disregard the online voting. So can the honorables move out? Okay, we do not have time, and it is going to be an open election. All of you will witness. So really, appointing of agents is a matter of delay. Can the honorables be laid outside? Order denied. Can we confirm that everyone is outside? At least far away? So we are going to stand up for each candidate that we think should win, or as a way of voting someone, you're going to stand up and the clerk shall count. There are no agents. So, and if you do not want the candidate, you will stay seated. So let us begin already. Those that are in favor of Honorable Francis Shah. Can we have order in the House to enable the counting go on smoothly? This side has been counted, those that are in favor of Honorable Shah that are seated. Yes. Honorable Shah has 41 votes. Now, can we have those that are in favor? No. Honorable Shah this side. So this side, Honorable Shah has 31 votes. Can we now move to those that support Honorable Namutebi Ruth on this side? This side of the House, the right hand, on my right. Can we now have the voters of Honorable Namutebi Ruth from the left-hand side of the House? Clerk, how many are there? So, 3 on the right-hand side and 3 on the left-hand side. Can we now have those that are in favor of Honorable Nyaburu? Honorable Nyaburu Justin on the right-hand side, on my right-hand side. Those that are in favor? None. On my left-hand side, if you are supporting Honorable Nyaburu, please stand up. Can we now have those that are in favor of Honorable Kamanzi Enoch on my right-hand side? And on my left-hand side? Those in favor of Honorable Kamanzi Enoch. On my left-hand side? For who? Okay, make the total and send me the list. We can now have the members back to Parliament. Okay, so I have received the tallying from the clerks, and Honorable Francis Shah had 72 votes. Honorable Namutebi Ruth had 6 votes. Honorable Nyamwiru Justin had 2 votes, and Honorable Kamanzi Enoch had 7 votes. So the winner is Honorable Francis Shah. You will proceed forward and you'll be handed the instruments, after which you will take the oath.
Uh-huh. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we? Okay. I, Rubakene Francis Shah, swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will faithfully and bear true allegiance to the Republic of Uganda, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. So help me God. I, Rubakene Francis Shah, swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will at all times well and truly serve the Republic of Uganda in the office of the Deputy Speaker, and that I will support and uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda as by law established. So help me God.
Honorable Shah. Instruments. Congratulations to the Deputy Speaker, honorable members in the House, Parliament. The House has been suspended for a few minutes, so we're going to come back and then debate the motions.
Procedure, Madam. Order.
Honorable members, House was suspended to enable you go and have lunch. From lunch, you will come back and then we shall start the debate of the motions. So you can go to the conference hall for lunch.
Now the journey has started. Hey, William, how is it? I invited this guy,
Pray for the lunch members.
the region.